They whispered in corners. They judged from balconies. But no one saw this coming. In Season 3, Episode 4 of The Gilded Age, the lines between ambition, loyalty, and power begin to blur. One moment of silence from a powerful figure, one glare from across the ballroom, and everything changes. The next chapter is not just about wealth, it's about survival in high society. And those who can't play the game right will be left behind. Episode 3 left us with more questions than answers. Bertha Russell was once again on the edge of losing her social dominance. After throwing a grand event meant to outshine her rivals, she was met with quiet resistance, and not just from her enemies. Whispers among her closest allies hinted at betrayal. Her husband George, meanwhile, is walking a tightrope in the world of business. A steel deal that was meant to make him even richer now threatens to pull him into a legal scandal. But George isn't a man who backs down. He's ready to strike calmly, strategically, and with deadly precision. Elsewhere, Marian continues to feel trapped, caught between two paths, one of traditional expectations and the other of freedom. She's torn. Her growing connection with a man considered unworthy by her family could either break her spirit or finally give her a voice, but Aunt Agnes isn't blind. Her sharp tongue and even sharper mind are watching Marian's every move. She knows what's happening, and she's preparing for war inside her own home. Then there's Peggy Scott, strong-willed. Brave and determined, Peggy continues to chase her dream of becoming a respected journalist. But behind the scenes, personal pain still lingers. Her relationship with her parents remains tense, especially after secrets from her past came to light. Her story is more than just about career. It's about healing and maybe forgiveness. But Episode 4 hints that a choice she makes could change everything for her, and possibly risk her place in New York society. All these stories are spinning like a grand waltz at a 19th century ball. The music is beautiful, but everyone knows it can stop in an instant, and when it does, someone will fall. Episode 4 promises to bring that exact moment where words cut deeper than swords and reputation means everything. This isn't just another slow burn. This is the moment where everything catches fire. Asterisk. The first frame hits like a quiet threat. Bertha Russell steps out of a carriage, dressed in midnight blue velvet, her eyes locked on someone we can't yet see. There's no need for words. The way her head tilts, the way her chin lifts, she's coming to take back what's hers. That's how the trailer opens, and from that moment on, it's clear. Episode 4 is going to be a battle of power, not fists. We catch glimpses of a grand ballroom being prepared, chandeliers glowing like stars above gold-trimmed walls. But the beauty is just a mask. Behind every polite smile is a plan. Bertha's rival, the cool and calculating Mrs. Winterton, glides past her with a smirk that speaks louder than any insult. The trailer cuts to George Russell in his office, the lamplight casting shadows across his face. He speaks just one line to a man across the table, expression unreadable. We don't hear the words, but the music dips. The stakes are high. Marian's story is hidden in soft focus moments, her hand brushing against the man's arm, her face filled with doubt. A single glance from Aunt Agnes across a dinner table turns everything cold. In another flash, we see Marian alone in the snow, walking fast like she's running from something or someone. Then comes Peggy. Her hand shakes as she opens a letter sealed in red wax. Her face goes blank. Whatever it says, it's not good. She looks out the window, her breath fogging the glass. The camera lingers, silence, then we hear the ticking of a clock. The trailer doesn't show much dialogue, but it doesn't need to. The music builds slowly, strings pulling tighter, faster. Each character is shown not in action but in decision. It's all in their eyes. George walks past a group of business rivals, and one of them turns to follow him. Marian stands between two men at a gallery. Both offer an arm. She takes neither. Peggy stands before a printing press, but turns away. Bertha sits alone in her drawing room, tea untouched, lips tight. Then a sudden cut, her slamming a glass onto the floor, shattering it. The final seconds of the trailer are almost silent. The ballroom is full. A waltz begins. The camera slowly zooms in on Bertha's face as she watches her enemies dance. Then, without breaking eye contact, she nods once. Someone off-screen begins to move. Then darkness. That's where the trailer ends, but it says everything. Episode 4 won't just move the story forward. It will shift the power, it will break old rules, and it may cost someone everything. If the trailer teaches us anything, it's this. Appearances lie, and silence is deadly in the Gilded Age. Asterisk, a single glance. A sealed letter, a shattered glass. These aren't just random moments from the trailer, they're warnings. Episode 4 is about to pull the fine silk off every hidden dagger in high society. And while the trailer keeps its secrets tight, it also gives us enough to start connecting the dots. One thing is certain, this episode could flip the entire season on its head. Let's begin with Bertha Russell. For seasons, she's clawed her way up the rigid ladder of New York's elite. But now, she's facing her biggest threat, yet not from the outside, but from within her own circle. The trailer hints that Mrs. Winterton is not just a rival, but a woman with allies powerful ones. The smirk exchange between them isn't casual. It's the smile of someone who knows a secret. Could Bertha's past dealings be coming back to haunt her? There's a chance someone close to her leaked information or worse, betrayed her directly. A planned event may be sabotaged or her social status publicly questioned. George Russell, usually uncheckable, shows signs of deep concern. The way he leans forward in silence during that office meeting signals a trap closing in. Could it be a political setup? A business betrayal? Or is someone using the threat of scandal to control him? If George gets pushed too far, he might resort to actions even Bertha wouldn't approve of. We may see a more dangerous side of him, one that puts business above morality. Now to Marian. The trailer shows her caught between two men, but this time she looks less like a woman in love and more like someone struggling to breathe. That walk through the snow feels symbolic. She's leaving something behind. Perhaps she's finally choosing her own future, one not dictated by Aunt Agnes or society's rules. But independence in the Gilded Age comes at a price. If Marian chooses love over position, she may be cut off completely. Episode 4 might be her final test. Does she bend or break? And Peggy? That red-sealed letter may be the key to everything. Is it from her estranged family? A threat? Or news that someone she thought gone has returned? Her reaction frozen, quiet suggests emotional weight. She might be pulled between duty and truth. What if the letter contains information that could ruin someone else's reputation, but publishing it could cost her everything she's built? That's the kind of ethical battle Peggy was born to face. And Episode 4 may force her to choose between justice and safety. There's also one brief but powerful moment in the trailer. A man standing in the shadows, his face never revealed, watching a party unfold. Could a past character be returning? Perhaps someone believed to be gone? Or a long-forgotten suitor with ties to Marian or Bertha? These kinds of late-season twists have always been part of the Gilded Age's signature style. And if that figure is who some fans believe it is, Episode 4 could cause an emotional and social earthquake. At its heart, this episode seems ready to explore not just who has power, but what people are willing to sacrifice to keep it. Pride, love, truth, or their entire reputation? No character is safe. And in a world built on masks and performances, the smallest crack can bring the whole house down. Asterisk. Power wears pearls and smiles with painted lips in the Gilded Age, but underneath it all is war. Episode 4 doesn't just tease new conflicts. It reflects something deeper, something human, the hunger to belong, the fear of being forgotten, and the loneliness that wealth can't fix. This episode is no longer about status, it's about identity. Who you are when the lights go out and the music stops, one of the most striking themes rising in. Episode 4 is the battle between appearance and truth. Bertha Russell has built her entire empire on elegance, strategy, and bold moves, but what happens when the people she seeks approval from refuse to play fair? Her struggle is no longer just about being accepted, it's about redefining the rules. If the old money elite won't give her a seat at the table, maybe she's preparing to burn the table down. This episode may finally show us Bertha at her most dangerous, when she stops trying to fit in and starts creating her own empire. Marian's journey cuts even deeper. At first glance, she seems like a woman choosing between two men. But the truth? She's choosing between two lives. One path would keep her in Aunt Inez's cold, respectable world, where love is a transaction and silence is expected. The other path is uncertain, messy, full of judgment, but also full of real feeling. Her character represents the quiet rebellion of young women in that era, women who wanted more than comfort. They wanted voice, purpose, love on their own terms. Marian's emotional conflict could reach its peak in this episode, possibly breaking ties with Agnes forever. Meanwhile, Peggy is facing the storm of multiple identities: daughter, writer, woman of color in a rigidly divided society. Her storyline has always been one of courage, but episode 4 might push her into painful new territory. The weight of her choices, whether it's to publish the truth or protect someone, could fracture her relationships. But Peggy's story also shows how truth can be power and how storytelling can shape legacies. Her growing distance from the white elite may reveal just how deep the social divides still run even in the drawing rooms, filled with music and champagne. At the heart of all this is the theme of legacy versus freedom. Every character is tied to expectations, family names, social positions, gender roles. But episode 4 seems to be the episode where the characters stop just surviving within the system and start challenging it. Some may fall, some may rise. But the message is clear: the world of the Gilded Age is changing, and those who refuse to change with it will be left behind. Relationships, too, are more complicated than ever. Trust is fraying at the edges, love is tangled in status, loyalty is being sold for favors. And even the closest connections like Marian and Aunt Agnes or Bertha and George are under pressure. Everyone smiles in public, but in private, they're bleeding. If episode 4 delivers what the trailer hints at, then we're not just about to witness another elegant social event. We're about to watch an emotional reckoning beneath the chandeliers.